Good afternoon. Welcome to the Gate Security Street Report for Spokane, Washington. Today is April 10th, 2025. It's Thursday. It's a little hazy today, but not too bad. 63 degrees. Beautiful springtime day. This report is brought to you by Gate Security. Gate Security provides all your security needs, from alarm and camera installation and monitoring to 24-hour patrol and response. Gate Security, we're prepared to protect. You can find us at gatesecurity.com, or you can email us at info@gatesecurity.com. So as I got off the freeway, as you saw, there was a number of panhandlers, and as I rolled off of the intersection, there were quite a few folks kind of hanging out on the sidewalk there. And as I drive by 2nd and Division, there's a fella, looks like he's sleeping there on the old steps of the CAP facility, what used to be the CAP facility. And as I roll down Division, I'm already seeing, here's a fella under the or by the overpass as I turn on to Sprague. And if you didn't see it before, but off to my left, there's a group of probably about 8 to 10 people on the landing area underneath the billboards here, right as I turn onto Brown. And there's a lot of people underneath the Brown Street viaduct, openly using drugs. I saw somebody there with some kind of a makeshift pipe of some kind. Camas Health is on scene today again. North side of State Street looks pretty calm. There's about 5 to 8 people out here on the south side of State Street. I say south, it's south of Pacific. There's a person sleeping in the alleyway behind the old CAP facility. So jumping right into it here today. And as I look over at the old Les Schwab building, looks like there's some, maybe it's old, but it looks relatively new damage to the windows on the southeast corner.
John Frank 1, George Davis.
Yeah, it looks like the north door has been secured. Last week when we drove by, that door was wide open. And as we roll past the Amerimart, Brown and 2nd, I'm looking at, there's about 3 ladies and a couple, 3, 4 people in the alleyway down there crossing Lincoln. And it looks like 900 West 2nd's got some activity. Count 4 or 5 people hanging out outside, and even across the street there's a couple people sitting on the sidewalk, and this fella in front of the car dealership there. Hope House 3rd and Adams got a couple folks hanging out outside. We'll go down and check the alleyway, see what that looks like. Yeah, we got our guy in the wheelchair panhandling at the corner here. And yeah, quite a few people down the alleyway here today.
Pioneer Stabilization downtown.
About 4 or 5 people hanging out in the alleyway in various states of consciousness. Yeah, it looks like there's some folks on the south side of the Hope House. Like to hang out on the other side of the fence there where not many people see what's going on. As we cross 2nd and Maple.
Say that one more time?
This is him at Casey Peters.
Yeah, Casey Peters, yes.
Okay.
Some folks hanging out over here by the viaduct on 3rd, I believe. It's the west end of 3rd Avenue. Got a camper hanging out behind the Rosars. Looking across Maple, looks like there's a camp being built. A little more low profile, it would appear.
Gmail 8 Adam, male, 5'1", 120 Brown, she's out of Kennewick.
Underneath the bridge here, there's somebody laying on the sidewalk in their sleeping bag. That was off to the left. I almost didn't see it. It's a panhandler there on the right. Cruising down 4th Avenue from Maple. It looks like we got somebody camping up here in the rocks on the right hand side, and then up here on the left hand side along the wall. 1, 2 people camping. City crews are out, or the downtown partnership guys, cleaning up underneath the Wall Street Bridge for I-90. Looking down the street here on Howard. Big mess. About 3 people camping on the sidewalk there. Less than a block away from Lewis and Clark High School. Approaching Washington. We're on 4th Avenue approaching Washington and the Westminster Church. Actually looks pretty clear up there today.
Copy.
Sam, Tom, Ocean Nora, Chris Richard, Robert Ida, Charles, Henry, Adam, Robert Peter, no initials, Stephen Thomas, date of birth 8/1/1971, mail to Washington.
Here she called in and said she was over at 400 East North Avenue. Anymore.
So look for the description was lower than the
There's a can source. Spokane stopping.
Apple and Green Acres, David 38111 Frank.
So this to me is kind of a big deal. I'm turning around to come back to give you a view of this little park that sits on the corner of Division and uh, Martin Luther King Jr., which I think turns into Spokane Falls Boulevard. This little piece of property belongs to the state. It's part of the WSU campus here in Spokane. And literally just talked to a campus security officer who informed me. I asked him if they ever come over to patrol over here, and his response to me was that they do not. So I'm going to add on a little special report for one of the hottest areas in town, and that's up North Division at the Dollar Tree. And the Dollar Tree sits right next door to the Salvation Army. And I'm driving behind the alley, or in the alley. You can see it's full of litter, multiple people loitering. We're going to go around the block to the south side of it and see what that looks like. And I already know that there's several people camping out over there. This location has been notorious in the last month for multiple overdoses, assaults, and other law-breaking activity. And just looking here, there's 4 people hanging out in that area. One other place I'm going to go, I'm going to take you around the block here real quick. and show you one other intersection before I jump off for the day. But this also is a notorious area that doesn't get a lot of attention until someone calls 911. All right, as we come down the division side of the one-way, Dollar Tree's on my left. If you look to your left ahead of us, you'll see a fella hanging out on the corner right outside of the Teamsters building. Anyway, that's going to do it for me for today. And as I close out here for the week, I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope it's beautiful, sunny, and nice and warm. And I'd encourage you to get out there and enjoy some of those springtime activities that we get to enjoy up here. Be careful, be safe, take care. It's the Gate Security Report. Have a good one.